Hello class 11, how are you all doing? I hope all of you are doing well. This is your DJ ma'am. Welcome you to the very first class for this academic session of geography. Well, in geography, this time you will read two books. First and foremost, you will read geography as an independent subject from this academic session. And what are the two books that you will study? First, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, and number two, the Indian Physical Environment. So I will be taking the Fundamentals of Physical Geography. So let us start with the very first chapter of this book, Geography as a Discipline. So first, to understand geography, to go ahead with the subject of geography, you need to understand that what is the need to study geography. So the question is, why do we study geography? What is the reason? Since we live on the planet Earth, so it is very important for us to understand the physical environment of our planet. So first, as we live on the Earth, it is almost like knowing the environment where we live in. That is our own environment, our own surrounding. It may sound dramatic, but our lives are actually very much affected by our surrounding. So we may say that our lives are affected by our surroundings. As we can see, everything in our surroundings like plants, animals, water, minerals, everything is actually derived from the nature. So it is very important to understand the physical environment. There was a time when the primitive society, when the man only ate edible plants and animals to survive. But now, as the time passed, human beings, they have modified. We can see they have created new technologies. With new technologies, their fooding patterns change. They have adjusted themselves with the changing climatic conditions, changing weather patterns. And along with this changing climatic conditions, the cropping pattern also differs. So we may say that as our primitive society, were dependent on nature, you can see that cropping pattern differs. With change in climate, so we can see that with new modification, with new technological changes, now the food patterns, the clothing patterns, everything changed from the primitive society. So why we need to study geography? To understand all these changes. We need to study geography to understand the gradual development of Earth, and how with this gradual development we can see that the human beings evolved. So why do we need to study? We need to study because of the gradual, to understand the gradual development of Earth, which led to the evolution of human beings. In turn, we need to understand the variations in the topography. That means in the physical environment. We need to understand how the human societies developed. We need to understand that with creation of new technologies by the human society, nature was modified, or we can say still Nature is modifying. We need to understand geography because geography actually helps us to understand the changes which took place over time. So geography is directly related to space and time. That over time how space has changed, how we can see that the topography varied, how human societies developed, how new technologies were created, and with the coming up of new technology, nature was modified. So I hope so you understood why do we study geography, what is the need to study geography. Now let us go ahead. Definition of geography. What is geography? The word geography came from a Greek word geo, that means earth, and graphos means description. So we can conclude, and many geographers actually describe geography as the description of the earth as the abode of human beings. From where this word geography came? This word geography came from a Greek word, and who coined it? A Greek scholar Eratosthenes, 276 to 194 BC, in his book Geographia. So what is geography? Geography came from a Greek word that geo means earth and graphos means description of the earth as the abode of human beings, and it was first coined by this Greek scholar Eratosthenes in his famous book Geographia. Earth has two components. Literally, what are the two components of earth? Physical environment, which deals with plains, plateaus, mountains, hills, valleys, etc. And the other component are the human beings. Now, without the human beings, the earth will be as common as any other planet. Why it is unique? Because of the human beings. Now it shows the variations, it deals with the variations in social and cultural aspect. We can see that the physical environment are well modified with human beings, and as we will move to different parts of the world in different variations, in different topography, in different physical areas, we will see that their culture, their social interactions all differ from each other. So mainly geography deals with the relationship between physical environment and human beings, that is between the physical and social cultural aspect. So we can say that the physical environment has actually provided the stage on which the human beings are creating their drama of their skills, of their knowledge, or with their tools and technology that they have invented. Now, geography as a discipline has different aspects. Mainly here what we learned, geography is a discipline which actually deals with physical and social cultural aspect. So geography, we know that actually Earth is multi-dimensional. So geography as a discipline is also multi-dimensional. It deals with objects like natural science and social science. So what I said, that geography actually help us to understand the physical aspect and the social and cultural aspect. Earth is multidimensional and geography has too many disciplines. What are those? Like as I said, natural science. Now natural science means pedology, oceanography, meteorology, geology, etc. And social science, it deals with like economics, history, political science, sociology. So these different disciplines actually helps us to understand the different aspects of the earth. Geography derives its database from natural and social science and attempts its synthesis. As a geographer, it is very important to understand the variation in the physical environment, but we also need to understand other factors associated with these variations. So we need to understand the causal relationship between man and nature. Now let us move ahead with geography as a study of areal differentiation. Geography as a study of areal differentiation. What does it mean? It means distribution of phenomena, both physical and human, and how are they related. So what happens in areal differentiation? Areal differentiation means distribution of phenomena, both physical and human, and how they are related. Now the space in the earth is actually divided into certain regions. And these regions can be distinguished or categorized on the basis of various spatial criteria. So we can say that we can actually conceptualize the term space or the term region, and we can conceptualize this as an identical unit. How we can identify this unit? We can identify this unit on the basis of certain sets of phenomena or criteria. Let me make you understand. This is place A. This is place B. Both are separate regions, but these regions are identical on the basis of certain criteria. For example, soil, demand, climate, technological advancement or technology available. Now we will see that region to region there will be variation. Here the soil type in place A will not be the same of place B. The demand for the crop or the demand for a product will not same in place A and in place B. The climatic conditions will differ from each other. Technology which is available will be different from each other, and the need for production will also be different from place A to place B. So this is referred as areal differentiation. So it is very important to understand the correlation or the causal relationship between two phenomena or more than two phenomena. More than two phenomena. Areal differentiation means, as a study of geography, is that we need to understand the correlation or causal relationship between two phenomena or more than two phenomena. Now, these geographical phenomena are not static. They are highly dynamic. Highly dynamic. That means constantly changing. Now, they are highly dynamic, constantly changing. How? They are ever growing, ever changing because of the ever changing nature and ever active human beings. There was a time when the primitive societies were directly dependent on the nature for food, for clothing, for shelter. But now, as man has actually modified the nature, man has able to loosen the shackles, and now man has moved from a stage of necessity to the stage of freedom. For example, with the creation of new machines, with the creation of new technology, it is very easier to modify the physical environment. So technology has actually helped man to move from a stage of necessity to stage of freedom, where it has helped to reduce the harshness of labor. It has provided leisure to human beings. It has increased the efficiency, labor efficiency, so that human beings can pay more attention to the needs which needs higher attention. So now we must remember that now it is humanized nature and naturalized man or naturalized human beings. So now human beings are no more dependent on nature. They do not fear nature. Rather, human beings are utilizing nature according to their own will, according to their own wish. Now we will move ahead with some set of questions that are related to geography as a discipline. Geography as a discipline is concerned with three set of questions. Geography as a discipline is concerned with three sets of questions. What are those? Number one, what? Number two, these are basic questions. Where? And number three, why? What means, what is the relationship between natural and cultural aspect, that is relationship between nature and man. Where means where are these variations? Where are these variations? That means distribution pattern, the different societies, evaluation of different human societies, all are related with this question where it actually deals with the physical aspect, with the land aspect. It deals with population and land aspect. It is very common that the human beings will live in plains rather than on mountainous areas. Now the question why actually explains the causal relationship between the features and the processes. For example, when we say there is a place with high population and there is a place with low population. So these three questions, what, where and why, these are three questions which actually helps to understand the dynamic relationship between man and nature. So I hope all of you understood why do we study geography, what is geography, from where the term geography actually came into being. Geography as a discipline has many disciplines like natural science, social science. Geography as a study of areal differentiation and what are the set of questions that are concerned with geography. In the next day, we will go ahead with the other topics of the same chapter. For the time being, signing off. Thank you.